Hi, boys and girls. It is Shane, and I want to talk to you about a game you're playing right now, whether you want to be playing it or not. And this game is called Credit. We have a score, a credit score. Don't try what you're about to see at home. A credit score means you're playing a game. When you have a basketball score, it means you're playing a basketball game. If you have a football score, you're playing a football game. Credit score means you're playing a game of credit. Let's take some focus. Give me 1 second. All right. So most of us have been taught incorrectly. I grew up poor. I was taught credit cards are bad. You don't need to have them. I was taught a lot of things that kept my credit score very low because more or less my family taught me not to ever play the game of credit. They taught me credit is bad. Stay away from it. A lot of you have probably heard things like this, whether from Dave Ramsey or whomever. But look at all my credit cards. This isn't even all my credit cards. This is just a small stack. How many credit cards do you have? Let me know in the comments. As it turns out, credit is actually a very good tool that if you use properly can help you to succeed in life. It is a tool, like a hammer is a tool. You can smash your finger with it and it can hurt. But you can also build houses with a hammer. Same thing with credit. You can smash yourself with credit so bad and it can hurt really bad. And a lot of people get hurt trying credit for the first time when they're young and not that bright yet. And then they avoid it the rest of their life and they teach their kids to avoid it. So I'm going to teach you how to win at credit, how to win at this game, how to have a good score, and how to end up with a stack of credit cards bigger than this. And there's just a few basic rules for this. The first rule is this. Your credit score is not about how many late payments you have. If you have a late payment, 2, 3 late payments, that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have a bad score. Most of us have been taught if you have a late payment, you're going to have a bad score. It's the number of late payments related to or ratioed to the number of on-time payments. Meaning, if you have one credit card and you're late on a payment, in a year you make 12 payments, so roughly 10% of your payments this year are late. If you were going into a bank and saying, I'm late 10% of the time, will you give me a loan? The bank is going to say, hell no. We'll find somebody that's barely late ever to give a loan to. That's what they're looking for. A credit score is related to how a bank is going to lend to you. So this is how it works. If you have 10 credit cards and you're late on one payment, in a year you make 120 on-time payments. That one late payment is less than 1% of the time that you're late. If you go into a bank and say, I'd like to get a loan, and they say, how often are you late? Less than 1% of the time. Hell yeah, we'll lend to you, no problem. The score's difference isn't the number of late payments. It's by having more on-time payments. Okay? Second rule of credit. And these are almost like hacks. If you learn these techniques, you can have a good score. So the second rule is not about how much you have that you're borrowing. So if you're borrowing $5,000, people say, Shane, I have bad credit because I borrow $5,000. It's not borrowing $5,000 that gives you bad credit. It's how much available credit you have. So if you're borrowing $5,000 out of $6,000, you're using most of your credit. Banks kind of see that as a red flag, like this person's already maxed out what they have. We probably don't need to lend to them. If, however, you got 10 more credit cards and each one of them had $2,000 limit, now you have $20,000 more available credit. When you add that to your previous, you have $26,000 available. You're using $5,000 of your $26,000 that's available. Guess what? You're a rock star. Your credit score is going to go to the moon because you're using less than 20% of your credit that's available. That's optimal. That's great. You're an incredible person. So it's not paying down your credit, but increasing the available credit that will help your score. And the third thing is the length of time you have credit, which is the danger to somebody who just keeps one credit card or maybe just pays off a car loan. Every time they pay off that car loan, we'll just go with a person who has just a car loan, 5-year car loan, and their credit goes up and they're looking at their 720, 730 score and thinking, wow, I'm doing great. When you pay off that car, that credit line closes and your age of credit goes to 0. You no longer have any credit. And if you start a new loan, it's a brand new loan. So your age of credit is brand new. It's still 0. So your credit takes a long time to go up. And then when it finally gets high again, you pay off the car and now you don't have credit again. That's where having credit cards that are free that you can have for a long time and you don't have to pay anything yearly as long as you just use it a few times a year to buy a coffee at Starbucks, you're going to have good credit. It's going to stay open. You don't have to use a lot of it. And over time, your age of credit will get better. So let's talk about min-maxing your credit if you've got a bad score here. So how do we min-max this game? How do we make this game better for us? Number one, we need to get as many free credit cards as we can. Okay? Every few months, you should apply for a few credit cards and try to get 2 or 3, especially in your first couple of years, because the longer you have credit, the better you're going to do. If your credit is bad, you're going to have to start off with a card like OpenSky Secured Visa. Highly recommend it. I think it's a good beginner credit card. Use that one for a little while, then apply for a couple more as your score increases, and go from there. Once you have a new credit card, you need to use it enough to get its reward. Some of them will have an entry, like you use it for $1,500 in spending, they'll give you $200 free money. Make sure to go ahead and use it for that. But when the credit statement comes due, you need to make sure you have a balance and that the balance is roughly less than 20% of utilization. So if you have $1,000 available on this credit card, you may use $800 of it before the statement issues. Pay it down so that you only have about $200, $180, something like that spent on it or less. And then when the statement comes due, you pay it off. So let's say you use this to pay your electric bill. You're going to pay your electric bill anyway. So you pay your electric bill with this. Your electric bill is $150. You got a $1,000 limit. Now you're perfect. You even get reward points. This card gives me 3% cash back, basically, when I use it. Then, after I paid my electric bill that I was going to pay anyway, I get a statement from my credit card. I show that balance. Now I use my bank account to automatically pay my credit card when the bill comes due. And boom, I've got an on-time payment. I've got 3% back on my electric bill. It's great. It helps me out a lot. So that's how we play that game. We do that with each card we have. Every single card you have, you're going to try to make one payment every single month and keep the balances low on all your cards when the statements come due. Over time, you'll have lots of on-time payments. You'll have low utilization and your credit score is going to go through the roof. But some of you have bad marks on your credit, collections, things like that. So how do we deal with those? Go to annualcreditreport. And then com, just like this one here. Okay, go there. You can get a free report. That report it'll look like you're in 1995 land because it's an old website, but it'll give you a free credit report. You can take that, drop it into ChatGPT and say, ChatGPT, which of these can I contest? Can you help me write a letter to them and tell me where to send it to? And it will literally write letters to contest the things that are on the credit for you. It'll tell you where to send them to. And you can get a lot of those things removed from your credit. You would be shocked how often you can contest something that's been on your credit for 2 years and it just goes away after you've contested it. And now your credit score goes through the roof because you took the time to have some AI assistance. It's a great way to use AI. Okay? Final thing. This is just so you know, your credit score isn't just going to go from here to here in an increasing line. That's not going to happen. It's going to go up and it's going to go down. You're going to get new cards and they're going to drop for a little bit and then it's going to come back up. You want to create a trend in an upward direction. So if you do this for a month or 2 months and it feels like it hasn't made progress, that's okay. Stick with it for a year. See how you do. Most people can improve their credit score by over 100 points in 6 months. You can definitely do this.